Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G. Today we got James.
Yo.
And we may be joined by others later in the podcast. Make sure on your way in to make sure to share, like, and subscribe. This year, like I said, the number one thing we want to do is grow this community and this brand. So we can't do it without y'all. So make sure, to come in, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your peoples about us. Also, I understand that these podcasts could be pretty long. So if you want the small form factors of the podcast, make sure to check out our Clips channel, Fit the Description. Also, just so you know, we're on various different podcast platforms. And if you didn't hear us last podcast, again, just a reminder that now the audio podcast and the YouTube channel are now being released at the same time. So you're now on the same schedule. The only difference is that the video portion will be released on YouTube and Rumble on Saturday, and then on all audio platforms on Monday. So just make sure to check that out so you know what's going on. Also, if you just want to hear my thoughts, check us out on the Wisdom app, where you get to hear from me and I just talk about things that goes on, and sometimes behind the scenes. I also ask various different people questions, so make sure to check that out. And like I said earlier, I'll say it again, we're now on Rumble, so check that out also. And we also have it Twitter, and on Twitter we kind of put up different things that we get shared to kind of help the community out, so make sure to check that out. And then we also have an Instagram that I've not worked on. So and also make sure to check out the Patreon. I think the episode we have up right now, we just released the podcast talking about the Hub 2021. So make sure to check that out if you want to hear more about that. That's actually on Patreon. So if you want to be a patron, make sure to check us out on Patreon. And beyond that, we're going to go ahead and check out the podcast.
Dude, I need to figure out what's going on with the CCW shit, dude.
Yeah, I got heard. That's something I was gonna bring up. I even have it on a tab. I was gonna talk about the new gun law change and what California's trying to do.
So stupid. Me and the homies were talking about it yesterday, and because one of the homies has to renew his license, and he was like, "Oh, it's dope now. You can do it online." I was like, "Yeah, but if these laws pass," he was like, "What? It'll be great to have the CCW if the laws pass. You can carry it everywhere."
No.
And we started talking, and it was a joke. He was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, you can carry it everywhere." People were like, "No, da da da." He's like, "No. If I renew my license, I can carry my license anywhere. You just can't carry the gun anywhere." Man, that was hilarious. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I was like, "Yeah, you can carry the license with you anywhere, like a library card at that point."
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're even saying that they're gonna force now. Like if you go for your license, they're gonna force you to get insurance now.
That's fine. Insurance is not bad though.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not bad, but it's probably gonna be expensive though. From my understanding, it's probably gonna bump it up.
No, it's actually stupid for them to force people to get insurance, because when you go to the insurance companies, they literally just tell you that, hey, like, this is basically how you stay out of jail.
Yeah.
I mean, try to tell everybody, yo, get that license, bro. Especially if you're in LA County, because it seems like right now they about to press everything.
I know. That's why I know I gotta get like super soon. Like well, I mean, and like I said, it's my fault because I should have got it last year, like you told me to.
Mm-hmm. It should be interesting. I mean, they tried to pass that law last year and it didn't go, but now they're claiming they have the votes because they've been politicking.
But no, what I heard was that they got it because all the shootings that were happening all in succession out here. Well, not here, but all across like the Bay Area. That was on the news, and out here, and 12 people got shot.
Nah, they've been politicking this, bro. That's not why. That may have been how they did the, extra point, but and again, it's not even set in stone. They haven't done any kind of vote. They tried last year. You can look it up. They tried the same bill last year. This didn't pass. But they tried to pass it like slick. Like it was like an emergency vote. They had to try to put up and all this crazy crap. They tried to do it in the final hour and it was just too quick and everybody shot it down. So now they've had a lot of time to politic, push it. They got the bill up again and they're like, yeah, this time we got the votes. It's going to go through. But that's the stupid part because it's just targeting people that conceal.
Yep.
And all of that, even if it was about the mass shootings, is so dumb because look at all these dudes who do these shootings and tell me how many of them have a CCW.
Yeah.
Tell me how many of them actually are shooting registered guns to them.
Probably like some 20%. Of them are.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably like 25%.
Yeah.
Most of these dudes are coming out of the woodwork with stuff that's either not theirs, or some random ghost gun.
Yeah.
So what is restricting the people that can actually help gonna do?
Exactly.
Like that's so dumb to me. Like I never gonna forget talking to a guy from Australia, and he explained that he was like, yeah, they have a no gun policy. Like these dudes actually, when the law passed, everybody turned in their guns, being good citizens, and blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah, crime rate went insane.
Yep.
And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, because the only people that had guns were criminals. and then they knew that. So
yeah, facts.
Like if you have a policy where some people may carry, some people won't. I mean, in California, you're still gonna get knuckleheads that's gonna tempt it, but look at all the places where there's open carry. Their crime rate isn't insane. Their murder rate isn't insane like that. Because people packing and they ain't playing. That's their Second Amendment right. They gonna
Yeah, did you hear about the one dude in Texas who shot that one black kid because he was trying to rob a restaurant and came in and shot him?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was a big thing. That was all on the news.
I heard about the dude who was in a barber shop and he came in to like kill his ex-wife or whoever like that, and he ended up getting a couple of people in the barber shop, and then somebody who had a concealed ended up shooting the dude, stopping him from killing a lot more people.
Yep.
And that happened here in California.
Yeah, I think that
actually happened on the close podcast? To my house.
Yeah, when we were on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. It happened close to my house. It happened in Riverside. I was like, oh shit. These dudes just getting it. But I mean, it does a lot of good. You can't, it's not like you can be a criminal and get one. You have to go through a pretty intensive background check. And basically now, if this crap passes, they're just going to make the background check harder.
Yeah, basically.
Like they'll be able, like, I don't know if you've ever known anybody that tried to get into law enforcement or anything of that nature, but their background check is like stupid.
I mean, my mom did, but that was in a totally different era. Like we weren't even on the planet. So
I had a homegirl that literally was trying to be a dispatcher, and she had to call me and inform me that since I was on her resume that people were probably going to come to my house and like have a conversation with me.
Oh,
I was like, are you joking? She was like, no. That like they were pretty, like she said, during like a part of the interview, I was like 10 to 15% of the interview.
Oh,
like, what's this guy? Who is this guy? Okay, blah blah blah. What's his character about? And then they were like, we just need you to sign this that says it's okay for, and they take addresses, like literally they will pull up to your crib and then chat with you about the person.
Oh, I never even heard of that.
Yep. And I thought it was trip. I thought they were full of until I called my homeboy, who's a correctional officer, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dude." He was like, "What county?" Yeah. Oh yeah, they be on it. They will. They have the 100% right because they have to know. Like you have a character judge in your job application.
So I'm
That
guessing.
they give you. They want all your social media. They want to monitor all of it. They want all your personal, situation, and they will go and have a chat. They'll go to your house and see how you live.
Oh,
Yeah, they want to know your credit score, everything, bro.
yeah. I always agree with Keith. What the fuck does my credit score have to do with getting a job?
Because they don't like if you're in a position that you can be corrupt. I mean, obviously, think
Yeah.
about it. If you did credit checks on council members, even though these would be good judges of council, they'll do great jobs. Think about it, like if you gave this dude the keys to the bank vault, you know what I'm saying? How much money? Like, look, man, I need to get up out a little bit of debt. If you don't know this person's character,
Uh,
I think it's stupid, but I also understand it. I'm kind of in the middle about it. Like,
wow.
especially even the dispatcher situation. I was like, well, I said, this is kind of crazy. But then the homie was like, you got to think about it. Like, let's say me and you were interviewing this dude for a
Mm-hmm.
job as cop or whatever.
All right.
And he's just selling that whole situation. We like, yeah, he's cool, all right, he's good. But then you find out that this dude's part of notorious street gang and all his ties and half his family is all connected to this. And we're about to give this dude ample right to go through and like, I don't know, do anything, obliterate the competition of the street gang, uh, tip off the street gang when certain things are coming his way. Like, all you can have access to everything.
Yeah, but I think they said the Memphis, which is I ain't gonna lie, kind of pissed me off. Come like that. Okay, either way, I'm not even gonna go back into that. Which is the dude got beat. Like they said that entire unit, they said a lot. Like most of those guys were gang members.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Which I
but
don't necessarily think that's a problem, but
but
I mean,
again,
well, except for that
like,
result. But yeah, go ahead, my
again,
fault.
well, if that's true, then dang, I mean, you got to think about how crazy it is that as soon as that came out, they disbanded that unit. Like, all right, yeah, these guys are wilding out. Like, what other things did they do and got away with?
Well, I want to just put down a unit. I think a lot of cops do shouldn't get away with it. I've seen it, so
Yes, yes, and that's why I said before when you guys are talking about, yeah, it's white, it's black, it's not, it's cops.
yeah,
I was like, you can't judge a good one and a bad one. They're just cop. Like these dudes wild out. Some of
yeah,
these dudes are bad, no matter what color they are. They are ridiculous.
yeah. I agree with that. 110%.
I know plenty of cops. I'm homies with plenty of cops, and they're all different races. I know Mexican cops, white cops, black cops, and they'll tell you flat out. There's some dudes that will go out there and use their badge for bad.
Uh huh.
So I mean, it's just you. Like people say, don't trust police. Like everybody started getting to the don't trust white police, but that's not right. Just
Yeah, that's
don't
not
trust.
right.
Just don't trust any of them. But don't trust anybody at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's kind of like my cousin. He like, man, like I figured it out, and he told me he said you don't want to be against them, you want to be with them because he like man, now that I'm on my side, man, that should be nice. He told me like sometimes he'll go to the bar, he'll get drunk, he'll just call his cop buddy to come over, to put him in the back of his car, and then his other partner would take his car, let's drive him home.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, it's so many people who are like, nah, man, bump them, but they have that. They aren't when they raised. I guess they taught to dislike cops, but
Well,
then when
most
they
of us
added
are.
to, yeah, I mean, I get that, but I mean, honestly, I wasn't raised to disrespect cops.
I want to say I was raised to disrespect cops, but I sure as hell grew up like not disliking them.
Nope. I grew up learning that, you know what? Don't do anything that's going to get a cop to put you in his crosshairs and you'd probably be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got that same talk too from my mom.
Like, my mom will tell you that was one of the scariest things she had because her sons was always in the streets. So, you know what I'm saying? She was always worried that somehow, you get in their crosshairs, you ain't getting out.
Yeah,
And I mean, I get that, but and I've been in their crosshairs a couple of times, and stuff happens.
yeah,
But I mean, that's one of the reasons I took law enforcement. I actually just wanted to know, like, how everything works.
that's
And
crazy.
with YouTube University now, everybody's like supposed to be a lawyer.
Yeah, true. Or detective.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know about that. And I argue with a lot of people about it, and it's not because I don't believe in being pro-black or anything like that. I just like, look, these dudes got a job to do, and I get it. Doing law enforcement, I kind of understood a little more, like, yeah, you're supposed to be trained to do this, and I get it. But also, it's always in the back of my head, just like when I tell you guys,
Mm-hmm.
if something comes up, oh, I'm gonna react the way I want to react because at the end
Yeah,
of the day, I want to go home.
yeah,
I don't want to be sitting there contemplating what's going on as everything turns to black. No, it's me or you. Somebody's going home.
yeah. That's damn.
It's gonna be me.
Yeah,
So, I mean, a cop goes through the same thing, except for he does it repetitively every freaking night.
mm.
Every day he's like, is this gonna be the day some clown, especially now, you're like, oh, everything's so volatile. But it's weird because the more stuff happens, and then again you put the bad egotistical people in there that make it worse. So now it makes everybody else on high alert so that somebody makes a mistake. Because yeah, there are black people that have been getting beat like pinatas for years, for decades.
Yeah.
You
Facts.
think it's gonna change?
That hasn't yet.
Not. That's why I keep telling like we sit here and get in these arguments like what's I'm tell you what has changed. It's not going to change.
Yeah.
But then everybody got on the podcast the other day arguing about it. I'm like, I'm not even gonna get into this. There's not enough time to sit here and go, bro, it's not gonna change. We haven't changed. We have not changed. Like you argued me about it, everybody argued me about it. But at the end, when you look at it, nobody can ever tell me what we've done differently.
Yeah.
Let me point this part out to you.
Okay.
Everybody says, and again, this gonna be crazy, but we had a conversation about it the other day in another little group, and it was very close knit group because this conversation kind of crazy. Everybody has suffered some bad shit over white people over the course of history.
Mm-hmm.
How come black people are the only people still trying to relive that shit?
Um.
You can't say, okay, think about it. Like, black people usually jump up and down talking about we were slaves, we were this, we were that, right?
Yeah.
Jews were too, weren't they?
I. Okay. Yeah.
Genocide was crazy, right?
Yeah, but I
There's
don't
a
know.
whole museum on that.
But I don't know where they were actually a slave. I guess yeah, technically, if you
What do
want
you
to define
mean?
slave.
They
No,
were put
I
in the concentration camps and euthanized, bro.
yeah, but that's I don't know if I would call that necessarily slavery. I'm not saying it was good.
What
I
the?
because slavery is more like you had to wind up working for somebody. But again, I'm not trying to sit there and justify like it's not. It's
Exactly. You're
yeah,
right.
no,
You're right.
yeah,
Slavery means that we were put to work for people.
yeah,
These dudes didn't have that option. They weren't
exactly.
liked. They were put into cages and murdered.
Yes, that is what I more believe. Yes, exactly.
Which one's worse?
I mean, I think it depends.
How does it depend? Like, no, I'm not talking about, I mean, to you, which one would you feel is worse?
I mean,
Being euthanized or being enslaved?
I'll put it like this: anything that you can't walk away back from will always be worse, no matter what.
Okay.
That's simple.
So, so the Asian culture was meant to build our railroads. Asians have pretty much been screwed around. So, I mean, Asians are the most impoverished places that you can find. And
Okay.
I mean, I get it. There's so many different variations of them. Some people will say that's not true. But most places, when you're talking about Indonesia and Malaysia and Laos and Korea and all these places are mostly dictatorships and mostly impoverished.
Okay.
So when we talk about black people are living in the projects, no, these people's whole society and life is the projects.
Yeah.
My homies went over to Laos and they were like, they wanted to eat 3 times a day. And these people looked at them like they were pieces of shit. Like, you're going to eat all our food in the village.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how can we really be enslaved by people who, who live in worse than us? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, I don't know if you've been hearing, but I've been hearing a lot of people trying to move to the Philippines lately.
Because it's so cheap.
Exactly.
But just like so many people went to Mexico, so many people went to Mexico that they actually put out a public thing that said, "Stop coming," because we were we were doing what we've done to California. We were turning Mexico into California.
Ah, that's very specific.
Well, because it's very accurate. People
Uh,
were moving to Mexico because you could work remote, and they would
yes.
be like, "I'm done." So they would move with the income of California, and they were buying houses in Mexico like your house in Mexico cost 10 million pesos, which is like $1,000.
Yeah. It's saying that
It,
it's the same thing right now that's happening to Puerto Rico.
nah, bro. Puerto Rico is part of us. Mexico is not.
Nah. They are technically, but the way we treat them, they don't.
Exactly. Yeah. Redhead step. Mexico is no, you're not as Americans, you're not supposed to own land in Mexico.
Is that a legal thing or? 'Cause I never heard
Yeah,
that.
no, that's part of their thing because I know a couple of homies that wanted to buy property down there, and you can buy the property, but you can't buy the land. So they had to
Oh,
get dual citizenships to buy land over there.
okay. I didn't know that.
Same thing with Indonesia. I mean, not in the Laos. I got homies that were low. They were actually Laotian. They actually were heritage from there, but they were born here, and they went over there and bought property and literally started a thriving business. And the dudes came in like, "Yeah, oh man, you did a lot. Yeah, this is ours now.
But
Get your shit and get out." They couldn't do anything about it because basically the mobs run that place. Like, it's
yeah,
super corrupt.
yeah.
So yeah, same thing with Mexico. But it was getting so bad that, again, you're coming from California where it's 400,000 and up to buy a house. You go over there and it costs you 50,000 and you still making money bro, these dudes was black. Yeah, I mean black too. They was doing it like shoes. Let me get three. Let me get three pair. Let me get this whole street right here. So they're developing in Mexico so fast now just because the supply and demand. So the developers are making money, but now the housing market over there is shooting up. So now it's like 300,000 to buy a fucking house.
Hmm.
So the actual people that live there are now like Californians. They work so hard every day, can't afford a house.
Yeah.
So they're saying, look, you guys need to stop coming over here because you're literally ruining everything.
Yeah.
But yep. Like I said, my homie went to and it just depends on where you go. Because let me see. It's not Indonesia. It's okay, so when you go to Laos, you can go to what's next to Laos? It's not Hong Kong. It's something it's something right next to it, but it's real like everybody knows it's mainstream. So that's supposed to be expensive. But these dudes went over these dudes went over to Laos and literally I want to say they changed out like $500, maybe $1,000 into their money and shut down a bank for a week.
Oh, for reals?
Uh huh.
Oh,
They were like, it really doesn't take much, but like the dude changed like nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's like a week worth of money for the dude down here. He changed that out over there, and one of the first things he did was hire two bodyguards to follow him around because the bank was nervous about this dude leaving the bank.
oh, damn.
With that much money, they were like, dude, this dude's gonna get killed.
Damn.
You gotta understand, like, what we live in is different when you go out.
Yeah.
And I've had so many homies now that have went out and gone different places and traveled around, and they're just like, yo, this is just insane. Like the difference in no wonder we're hated. We are kind of the top of the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you were supposed to be explaining to me which one's worse, slavery or genocide.
Well, that's not really
And,
what happened. Well, I kind of did answer
yep,
it, but
no, you didn't. You said, I'll just say that the one that's worse is one you can't walk back from. I'm like, I get that.
yeah.
So, like I said, white people have done it to everybody.
Yes, agreed. I agree with
Mexicans,
that.
Native Americans, Jewish people, like everything, right?
Yeah.
Why is it that black people are the ones that they keep fixating on?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that black people are like, damn it, we can't get ahead? Why?
I mean, there's. Go
Like I
ahead.
said, Jews got literally put in little camps and murdered.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we got lynched and all that. That's terrible. But the thing is, like, and again, like I said, there's a museum that'll tell you, and we told you, yeah, you should probably go check that out. Because I mean, I couldn't. I mean, when I was younger, I couldn't walk through that joint
Mm.
and just be cool. Like I was pretty messed up about it. But I mean, why is it that Jews aren't sitting there today going, man, we can't get ahead. We stuck. We this, we that. Hmm?
Yeah. I
Why is
mean,
that?
to answer your question, so the question was why you said why are we doing that, but Jews aren't, but Jews are able to make it out.
Hmm.
It's kind of based the question, and to me, I just believe it's just on culture and upbringing and how you bring up your children. I think they have a better message. I think they have them chasing for the right things that we don't. That's where I think it mainly comes from. That's why I think it's like
Okay.
that.
It has nothing to really do with culture.
Okay.
What you know right now.
All right.
But um if you want to look at it, I mean, as far as how I look at it,
Mm-hmm.
um upbringing, And this stage in the game is a big thing because there's so many generations of people that are just like, oh man, we can't do it. This is what we're gonna do. It's because of them. They ain't gonna let us step. They ain't gonna let us up. They ain't gonna do this. They gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest point back in the day was that Jews banded together.
Yeah, I agree with that. 110%.
Everybody else, think about it. Look at every other Mexicans band together, Native Americans banded together. Everybody banded together, and it was them against everybody else.
That's facts.
And it didn't go right. It didn't go right for a long time. But
Yeah.
if you keep banding together, then it works.
Yeah.
Black people are the only people who did not band together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how the only thing that's celebrated in 12 months that's like something like that is Black History Month?
Well, now Juneteenth, but yes.
That's okay, but it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
So it's like they emphasize it because they have to, because everybody else, what about everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no Native American History Month. I mean, people may say, oh yeah, we celebrate Native American culture this month, or we carry Mexican American culture. Like they just kind of like but it's not in the forefront. Like they just kind of added it. It's just like National Talk Like a Pirate Day. Nobody really pays attention to it, but Black History Month, you have to. This is the month where you talk about you having Black friends.
And I think
how's that possible? Why is that? Because everybody else just moved on with their day and they started putting, work into it.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why is it that Black people have to have a month? Because they can't. Regard, if not, then they wouldn't be recognized.
I think that's kind of our fault, personally.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that other country was Thailand. I just thought about it.
Yeah.
You go from Laos to Thailand. Thailand is where you get broke because it's more of a civilized, like a mainland place. So they charge you mainland price.
Yeah, people can actually know people from, like, I actually met people from Thailand. Video games, I'm not gonna lie, tell me about it. But also, what they called passport bros that are moving to Thailand right now, to Thailand, the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those are dudes who just like, man, I give up on this fucking country. I'm gonna find me a wife elsewhere. So,
but I mean, when you think about it, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, dude. Like, a lot of people just can't, like, you guys fixate on the little things and just that's it. That's it. They just, and there's no change. There's no difference. Like, you can,
yeah, but that kind of goes into like one of my worries is that, dude, I don't even know what Black culture is anymore. Like, and this is something that me and Keith were talking about. Is that I wish I would have said it's a term of meeting people where they're at, and feel like most people don't know how to do that anymore. Most people don't know how to meet people where they're at. Shout out to you, because that's a skill I feel like you perfected.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, people don't get it. Like, and they just don't. They don't want to get it. And now everybody's like, we don't have any culture anymore. You guys are fucking high. Black culture is the richest, most innovative, most creative, most copied culture out. We got people in Japan trying to be like us. We got people everywhere trying to be like us. The only problem is we don't fucking know how to be us.
That's the point I was trying to make. 100.
Totally not what you said, but again.
Listen to what people are saying. This is the thing I've been trying to tell people. Like, y'all niggas be looking at this shit like, man, I'm like, no, nigga, this is like not a good fucking thing. I keep trying to tell people like this idea and ideology is starting to grow. And we don't fucking start trying to nip it in the butt while we can, this is going to become a bigger problem like everything else. This is one of the things I've been telling people is that, you know, like every single time, you know, we have this conversation, we have the argument, they have the fight, everybody says the same fucking shit, and you know, understanding that shit ain't reaching like it used to, man. You arguing 1960 points in 2023. That's my whole entire point. We're like we need to change the argument. We need to change the conversation because you guys keep going on with the same thing, and we're starting to lose too much. And the fact that y'all don't recognize that is just crazy to me. The fact that, yes, that's my whole entire thing. Like, yes, I'm questioning things. It's not really that I'm questioning with the culture. Like I tell people, I know what it is. I know what it is to me. I know what I was brought up with. I know what they told me. You get what I'm saying? Like I know what it is. At least from what I was told, what I remember was, and who I was raised up under. But like a lot of people I listen to now or talk now, I don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Like I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about this? And and what I'm saying is that we're losing that sense of self at this point, and nobody's there trying to talk about this or trying to correct it. And that's the one thing I was trying to get them to see. Like the way you put it is straight up, you know. That's the whole entire point. I'm like, you need to listen to this shit because these ideas just grow. And if you don't nip it in the butt while you can, it's going to become a problem. When you got fucking black people, I get why you have an issue with reparations. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. But this is the thing. My argument for it isn't for me. I'm not trying to sit there and say stop and wait. And I get that because I hear about those motherfuckers. Because there's a lot of motherfucking niggas out there that sit there and try to wait for that shit to happen. You know? And yeah, I have a problem with that shit too. Where it's like, well, the white man needs to do this. I'm like, why the fuck you worrying about? Why the fuck you worrying about the people that put you in the position in the first place? And most likely, it's going to utilize you to keep you there. Like you said, we need to do that shit. But a lot of people don't understand that anymore, and that lesson is being lost more and more and more. It's one of the reasons why, like, I'm having issues, especially with a lot of the older generation I looked up to, because a lot of these guys were out there saying all this stuff, find a good fight, but the one thing that they forgot to do was keep the homes up, was keep the culture up, and I see it like slowly, kind of like, I don't want to say fade away, but it's being all like messy and manipulated where like I don't even know what the fuck y'all niggas fighting for anymore. You know? Like, I'll say this to you. Oh, hold on, my fault.
There you go.
Oh no.
Yep, you in.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, G?
Oh,
I'm not enjoying the day at all. Not at all.
Man, what's been going on, man?
All the technical shit with connecting up, frustration. The house was smelling all good, like food and shit, and making fucking tacos and shit. I couldn't get none, so I'm going to get something to eat right now.
Let me ask you: have you ever went through a custody battle for your kids?
No, I have not.
But basically, one of the arguments that came out was they said 60% of fathers who fight for the children, 60% of fathers that fight for the custodies of their children usually wind up winning. That's what a study, I can't find it right. Well, I found it, but it won't let me in the website. It keeps blocking me out. I guess he did a study in Chicago, and it showed that fathers, if they fight for custody for the child, 60% of the time they win custody. But my issue is with that, and number one, like what I have right here shows the opposite. But from my own experience, that's never been true. Fathers, most men I've known or I've seen over the years, just growing up being a kid who fought for custody of the kids, they don't always get custody. I don't even think 60% of the time, like very rarely, they get dual custody, but they never really get full custody. And so I don't know, like for somebody who doesn't have kids and don't have like little baby mama drama, I just was wanted to ask, you
Oh
know,
no, I couldn't tell you, man. I ain't never even heard of. I don't know no guys that fought for custody. So I don't know. My dad didn't fight for custody, and I don't know any of my friends' dads that had. Or, no.
okay,
So couldn't- I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, because that's the only thing that like I've known some people who fought for custody, some dads have fought for custody, and to me, the majority of men that I know who fought for custody usually don't win. So it's just one of those things where the study shows that yes, if a father fights, they say 60% of the time that he wins. But just to me, and like I was just trying to figure out like your own personal experience or knowing people, because in my personal experience and knowing people, I would say way less than 60% of men that I know who fought for custody ever wins. Now, could it be some other factors to that? Probably. That's just one of those things that tripped me out. And like, I was looking at that. I'm like, it's one of those things where the number says one thing, my own personal experience tells me otherwise. So I guess for me, I'm just kind of torn on that one because even the studies I'm picking up right now show differently. Like, so let me see. For example, this one says right here, fathers are granted custody only 18.3% of the time. So I'm just trying to figure out where that 60% comes from. That's why I said I don't know. Like that sounds off. But so I just wanted to maybe get a second opinion to see if you know if you had any other experience with that, but I guess you haven't.
I gave you the experience in the custody issue, but just not that side of it.
Yeah,
What you talking about?
yeah, yeah. But it was just a question I had that I was just wondering about.
Yeah, yeah. I know that I am hungry. That food over there was bomb as fuck.
So we're gonna head to get some food.
I am in the grocery store. I am in Stater Brothers. No, I'm in Albertsons.
Okay, I was talking to James about this the other day, and he said what you like to do is that you like to basically buy a pizza, grill a steak, and then put steak on the pizza. Do you do that?
That shit is bomb. Yeah,
Why?
because it's good.
Like,
It's
why don't you just make a pizza then at that point?
because the I mean, well, with that particular little shindig, it fits because the pizza's already made and it's a pizza that I like, and I just kind of dressing it up how I want it. My little fantasy pizza or whatever. It's a barbecue steak little setup.
I mean, I'll just be
It's
honest with
good, bro. You would just have to try it. That shit is fire.
I
Adrian tried it once. Seemed like he liked it. Did he give you his opinion on it? What he thought it tastes like?
Nah, he didn't. We didn't talk about that. We were just trying to because, like, to me, I said this is my own personal opinion. That to me doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is just me. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. This is just my own personal opinion. To me, if I was going to do that, I would just make an entire pizza because for me, it doesn't make sense for me to go out buy a pizza, come back home, make a steak, and then
No,
because
that was at the shop. And,
okay,
I just made the steak because the oven isn't that big to be making steak and pizza, and and try to have it done in a timely manner. You know,
okay, yeah. Because I'm thinking like at home because like I couldn't do that because for me that's to me it's like a waste because like I'm
no,
basically
hell no, that shit was fire.
I get what you're saying, but like I could use the steak later on for a different meal, and I could eat the pizza tonight. Like if
No, the
go ahead.
taste of the steak on the pizza is fire. with the barbecue sauce.
Oh nah, dude, you lost me with the
Oh
barbecue
my
sauce.
god!
You lost me with the
It's
barbecue
just
sauce.
you just have to think out of the box. If you actually had it, you know what I'm saying. You would I think you'd probably enjoy it. I mean, but I mean, to each his own. And how you can throw together your meal. I mean,
Yeah,
I
of course.
understand if that's something that you wouldn't do, but don't hate on it like like you just know that it ain't good because it's pretty fire.
Hey man, I'm on.
Well, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to apologize to you, but no, I for me, not necessarily for you, but for me, I gotta hit on it because that's like telling me you should try snail soup. I'm good.
What? Are you crazy? You eat steak, right?
Yes.
Do you eat snails?
No.
Do you eat pizza?
Yes.
Do you eat snails again?
No.
Okay. So why is that like asking you to eat snails?
Because again, I have family members that could offer that stuff and wound up eating it, didn't know what it was, and wound up being snail. Just like I had a cousin that went out and was offered cow tongue. There's just some things I'm not gonna try. Or you know, hearing those people that like to eat testicle balls. I'm good. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying I know what I like. I've tried enough things to know. Like for me, barbecue on pizza just
Oh
anything for me.
man. Oh, come on, man. You gotta think outside the box sometimes, you know.
I could do barbecue on ribs. I
I
love barbecue
mean,
ribs.
that one's perfect.
You gotta understand. Like I'm one of those people. Like okay, what's the new
You
thing?
just keep it traditional, huh? Just do it just the way it's done, and
I want to
be cool
say
with it. Huh?
maybe traditional, maybe more separated. So it's like you know, like when you go eat Thanksgiving,
Thank you
me.
much. Take care, man.
So,
He
so
ain't,
yeah.
he ain't even give me my second breast piece.
Oh man,
That's cool. I ain't going back.
for sure. But so like with me, like I'm just one of those people that I'm just like certain things you should not ingest, and certain things just don't go together. So like for me, I can't stand salty food with sugar. That just is a disgusting mix to me, no matter how you try it.
So you don't like caramel popcorn?
Oh, I hate that. I
Okay,
hate that.
okay. Well, if you say that, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't like Cracker Jacks, man? What? No, man.
That's
Okay,
disgusting.
okay. I get it. He's from an whole other planet. It's cool.
All I'm saying is, to me, salt and sugar should never go together. They should be in two different places. Sometimes it works if you know how to cook it right, you know how to mix it. But to me, salt food and sugar food need to be in two separate areas. So, like when I go get like a plate of soul food, the cranberries cannot touch the rest of the plate. I usually eat those by itself.
Oh man. Yeah, thought it. Thanksgiving, I'm mixing uh, uh, the pie with the macaroni,
219.
cranberry sauce everywhere. It's all in the spinach.
Oh no,
Yeah, everything.
nah.
You might as well be Thanksgiving soup with meat chunks.
That's like what white people do when they like to put raisins in the potato salad. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I never had raisins in my potato salad.
Yeah, hang out with some white people.
I mean, I would try it, but that sounds kind of weird.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, but I would try it though. I wouldn't just hate on it.
Then insert bills.
I mean, I tried it. I regretted it. I regretted it for the rest of the day.
This lady this morning, I went to get toothbrush and all that from the store,
Yeah.
and I was behind her, and I was just, just joking around. not flirting, but you know,
Yeah, I
just
know.
being a little friendly with the lady. And I was like, when she put the little divider down, you know, between her groceries and mine, I was like, "What? You don't want to pay for the food? I mean, you don't want to pay for my stuff?" And she was like, "No, no." And then she was like, "You know what? I will pay for it." She's like,
What
"I
the?
got you." I was like, "Nah, you don't have to do that." She's like, "I'm doing it." I was like, "Okay."
Wow, I've never had that happen to me in my life. No, that's not true. That's not okay. I did, but that was like a homegirl I was hanging out with. But for the most part, I've never had just a woman just offer to pay for food. That's not really how it works. Again, that's not true, but it's more like she said that she would try to pay for her own share. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Well, y'all was on a date.
I don't want to say that. I would just say we were kicking it.
Y'all was splitting the bill, hanging out.
Well, I mean, I want to say we split the bill, but she was willing to. But you know how that goes. So now that should be a test,
Well, I never met this lady before in my life.
man. It must be nice. Must be nice. I wish I
But
could.
nah, that was cool though. I appreciate it. I mean,
Man.
I couldn't help. I mean, I told her no at first because I was really going to, you know, was not expecting or planning for her to pay for my stuff. But then she like insisted, and I was just like, okay.
Right? I mean, I never had just some random woman just outright just say, "Hey, I'm gonna pay for your stuff." So yeah, man. I mean, no matter how bad the day's going for you, man, it looks like some good things are happening. So, yeah.
I saw the homie I used to commute to work with, but he used to go to his job on the same, you know, at the same time I'm going, and you know, you always chop it up,
Yeah.
even though I can't really understand him because he's Jamaican and he's like older and he stutters with a deep Jamaican accent. It's like I
Yeah.
can't hardly understand shit that he's talking about, but he the homie though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got laid off from his job because I ain't seen him for a minute, and I just happened to see him on the way going to her house, and going to see my young lad, and and yeah, we was chopping